Hello and welcome to our special broadcast at the Bharat Mobility Expo. This has now become the second biggest auto show in the world. So this time around, you had more than 34 OEMs participating and more than 100 launches over 2 days. Now it's open to the public, but to speak about the big industry push, the message from the industry when it comes to electric vehicles and the future of mobility is the President of Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers and the Managing Director of Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles, Mr. Shailesh Chandra. Mr. Chandra, thank you very much for being with us. Give us a sense of the strategy and what kind of readiness is the industry showcasing with the Bharat Mobility Expo this time around?
So see, Bharat Mobility Expo is, I would say, a landmark event, which is not only just showing the progress that the country has made as far as mobility space is concerned, but in a way it is also showcasing the preparedness on the vision of what future of mobility in India would be on the foundation of sustainability. I think that's broadly, if you really see, when you move around, you'll see this as a theme. I think for the first time, Bharat Mobility Global Expo has gone to this kind of a scale. And it is bringing all the value chain entities, under the one roof and one expo, which is also in a way resounding with what Honorable Prime Minister said yesterday, that make in India for the world. And if this is the mission that we have to really propagate, all the value chain partners have to come together to make this happen and get this vision as a reality. I think it was very motivating for the Honorable Prime Minister to come here and encourage the entire value chain of mobility mission, which also shows that how much importance the government has for mobility space and its contribution to what our Honorable Prime Minister said is Viksit Bharat.
Right.
So he expects a lot from mobility sector on all the objectives that the government has to drive for the nation.
Right. Mr. Chandra, the Prime Minister, when he was addressing the auto industry, he said that the auto sector, especially electric vehicle sales, are going to grow 8-fold by 2030. Give us a sense, by the sheer number of automakers in the EV space we see at the Bharat Mobility Expo, how do you expect EV volumes to increase in this calendar year?
I believe that with the excitement that you have seen around electric mobility, just go back 4 years, 2020 maybe, when you would have come for the Auto Expo, how many electric vehicles were you seeing? And today, literally every manufacturer is coming with one electric vehicle or the other, whether it is two-wheeler segment or a three-wheeler segment or cars or commercial vehicle. You are seeing the theme is full electric. If there is so much of combined interest that you are seeing from all, not only the OEMs, but also all the ecosystem players, you are seeing a lot of ecosystem display also. This is bound to grow multifold, and last 4-5 years, if you see, the highest growth, the CAGR has been upwards of 150%. So this growth is going to continue because of the combined interest of all the ecosystem players as well as the OEM, and continued support of the government in terms of lower GST rate, multiple schemes, whether you talk about the PM E-Drive scheme or whether you talk about the PLI schemes, not only for auto but also for battery cell manufacturing. So I think all the enablements required to grow at that pace is very much there, which is for the first time I'm seeing, because while government was doing its bit, but the response of ecosystem players had to be what it is today.
Right. Would you say that 2025, seeing what's happening at the Auto Expo or the Bharat Mobility Expo, 2025 will be the inflection point for EVs? Some years ago, we were seeing EVs in a 250-kilometer range. Now, at the Bharat Mobility Expo, literally no car maker is offering anything less than 450 kilometers of range. Do you feel that 2025 will be the year for an inflection point in terms of pricing, the right range and high quality products, and this is the message coming from the expo?
Yeah, I think the whole environment has kind of come to a level where a lot of things are converging together. One, policy support is at its peak, I would say, with all what I talked about. The interest of OEMs are also pretty much there to see. You have the regulations also favoring electric vehicle, promoting electric vehicles and moving away faster from the ICE world. And I think fourth biggest enablement, which has made all this possible, what you said, 500 kilometer plus cars, more investment into tech that goes inside the car, is because of significant reduction in the prices of the cells. Nearly 60% reduction in the last 4 years has happened, which has unleashed the ability of OEMs to give higher range, and along with higher range, give more features, because whatever money or cost you could give inside the car was all directed towards the battery pack. So I think all these trends are converging together, and therefore I clearly see this as an inflection point. There are definitely certain residual barriers which are still left. Charging infra has to grow much faster and has to be at a level which can support the growth that we are trying to envisage. But that is also an effort which is clearly coming in the PM E-Drive with the support for 2,000 crore of support that is being given to the public charging infra.
When we speak about electric vehicles, we now at the Bharat Expo, we're seeing strong SUVs in the range of anywhere between 18 lakhs to 25 lakh rupees. Do you feel that if this Bharat Mobility Expo was an inflection point, perhaps by the next Expo we're going to see prices come down significantly?
You are talking about the electric vehicles?
Electric vehicles.
I would say that now the prices of electric vehicles have pretty much stabilized. There was a point where electric vehicles were 2 times the price of an equivalent ICE vehicle. Today you are seeing most of the vehicles, now at least are coming closer to the price of an automatic ICE car. So, and battery prices have also fallen down to a level below which it can be some incremental, reduction that you can see, but it has come to a level where it is more stable. Now, some of the cost reductions which are going to happen is going to come from cost reduction, improvement, design changes, etc. So I would believe that the prices are now stable. And whatever additional cost reduction will come, possibly it will again go into giving some more range and more cutting edge features. So I would say prices are pretty much at a very attractive level.
At a very attractive level. At the SIAM convention pavilion, which I had visited yesterday, I saw different fuel options being showcased. You had electric, you had flex fuel, you had biomethane as well, bioethanol. So give us a sense of how is the industry going to approach this mobility segment. Yes, EVs seem to be the big answer that everyone has, but we see plug-in hybrids, we see strong hybrids, and these different clean energy fuel options as well. So what kind of a mix are you working towards as an industry?
See, eventual destination for an auto industry in a world which is taking pledge around net carbon zero is going to be a zero emission technology. Which right now, which is viable is electric vehicles, battery electric vehicles. But say, for example, in commercial vehicle, the long haulage application, electric vehicles might not make sense because the weight it has to carry, and therefore the payload on these cargo vehicles, long distance cargo vehicles will be very penalizing. So that might go to say hydrogen ICE or fuel cell hydrogen and so on. So you're clearly going to see different zero emission technologies existing in different kind of categories and segments. That's the destination. Zero emission is the destination. But there is a journey towards that. The transition has to happen. So there will be period of transition where you will have multiple options to be given. See, there are 2 big things to solve. One is the climate change, and therefore the emission regulations that you need for CO2 emissions, etc. But the other one is also energy security. So for energy security, flex fuel is the direction that the government is thinking about. And for the climate change issue, it is continuous movement towards the zero emission technology. In the interim, you will have CNG vehicles. You will have more and more, fuel efficiency friendly ICE vehicle. So all these technologies are going to exist and will serve different purpose and will have relevance in different categories of automotive as well as different segment within the same category.
Right. One interesting thing that I see, that whenever a person visits any booth in the expo, it says PM E-Drive approved or a FAME approved vehicle or PLI approved vehicle. What do you think that going forward the industry can do without this policy support, or will this policy support be needed continuously?
See, I would say that there is a time that you need to consider for giving this policy support before it becomes a self-rolling thing. And for me, globally, of going with how different governments across the globe where, say for example, electrification has really taken off well, you see this continuing till that particular category reaches a 20% kind of a penetration level. Beyond 20% penetration level, then it becomes self-rolling, is what I would say. So I think that, as I said, we talked about the inflection point and all. It is also coming because of the support that government is giving. And it is helping overcome a big barrier, which is the price barrier, as far as these technologies are concerned. So till this reaches about 20%, the support should be there. After that, it should be self-rolling, is what I believe.
All right, Mr. Chandra, we're going to take a short break at this point, but we request our viewers not to go anywhere. Lots more action on the Bharat Mobility Expo, and this conversation with Mr. Shailesh Chandra continues on the other side.